Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today's reading is the person on your mind. How do they feel about you? Whether you're asking about romantic connections, platonic, but if romantic messages come through, then please feel free to reject those if that's not what you're looking for. Okay, so we have three groups for you to choose from today: group one, group two, and group three. Please feel free to pause the video if you do need extra time to choose your group, but I will see you guys in your readings. Hi, I hope you guys are okay. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've chosen the first group, then this reading could be for you. How does the person on your mind feel about you at the moment? Okay. So, starting off with the tarot cards, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse, Ten of Wands upright, and the Eight of Pentacles also upright. Okay, so how do they feel about you? So at the moment, it actually feels like they're finally seeing the truth about you and your relationship. Like they finally understand your relationship, or this could be more specific to maybe certain things that you guys are experiencing right now, and they're really starting to understand certain things within your relationship, or they're starting to understand you in certain ways. And for some of you, this could be about communication, maybe effective communication. So they could be seeing the truth about maybe how they communicate, how they should maybe communicate in the future, maybe how you communicate. But some truth has come to light for them. They also feel like they've been trapping, hiding themselves away, maybe too protective over themselves, and feel it's been keeping them from moving forward, maybe moving forward in their own life, maybe, and in extension, moving forward with you. And now they feel less confused, in their feelings for you. They could be feeling more empowered to take action and move things along. They feel clearer and more open to possibilities as well. It feels like they're ready to take responsibility for their stuff, and not let that impact things moving forward, or at least, try to make some changes so that it at least doesn't, impact things moving forward. But it does feel like they want to try, like it feels like that's where their head is at, that's where their intentions and feelings are at right now. So yeah, right now they do feel they need to improve or rebuild your relationship. They do feel that they have been a bit selfish and haven't really been considering how you feel or your experiences, maybe your thoughts, and now they feel that they've let go of their, limiting beliefs, and they feel like they have a bit more confidence, maybe not a lot more confidence, but they do feel like they have a bit more confidence, and they feel they've broken free from some kind of paralysis. And because of that, they feel like they're no longer afraid to express their feelings. They feel like they've gained a new perspective on what's been holding them back and what they want moving forward. And it feels like they're ready to be honest with themselves about how they feel about you, and in turn eventually be honest with you about how they feel about you. So yeah, it feels like they're ready to move forward with more honesty and courage. But they do think you're feeling anxious and not very grounded, and they could feel like it is their fault. So they do feel like they need to rebuild trust or just develop trust within your relationship. But they already feel like they are starting to trust you more, trust themselves more. But they could feel like they need to rebuild your trust in them. So right now, like they do feel they've outgrown who they were, that they've reclaimed their emotional strength and independence. However, like they do feel you are emotionally overwhelmed, that maybe they've emotionally overwhelmed you, hurt you, um, and it feels like they're ready to own up to something. Like they're ready to own up to how they've affected you. They also feel like they are carrying a lot of emotional weight, um, and maybe because of that, maybe because of how they feel they've impacted you, because of like them taking accountability, taking ownership, like having a clearer understanding of themselves and how that might be impacting you and your relationship. It feels like they feel responsible for moving things along, you know? I don't know if I already said this. Like, I could have just said this, but I'm not actually sure. But they could also feel like they are carrying a lot of weight, maybe like emotional weight. They could feel exhausted, but it feels like they're still committed and they hope you are too. They feel you've been doing majority of the heavy lifting, and they feel like that definitely needs to change, and they need to do what they can so that they're so that so that there doesn't have to be things and emotions burdening either of you. And right now they also feel like they can't drop the ball anymore. Like they feel like that's done. And they also feel like you're nearing emotional burnout, or you're already feeling that way. They feel that you're so used to giving more than you receive, and they want to make sure that they don't fall into that category. They maybe want to make sure that um, maybe that doesn't happen with them and you. At the moment, like they do seem afraid of letting you down. Um, it feels like they're cautious of putting too much pressure on you as well. They feel like they shouldn't put too much pressure on you. But it feels like they're ready to hold on to your relationship, especially when it gets hard. They're like ready to see things through, and it feels like they feel quite guilty for not being available to you maybe sooner. And it feels like they've had this like breakthrough. They've had this mental clarity, like Ace of Swords kind of vibe. And it's like they've had this aha moment, and like they do feel guilty, and it feels like they're also ready to make those changes that need to be made. It also feels like they're ready to open up about their silent struggles. They feel that they need to make more of an effort so that you guys can grow together. They definitely feel you're worth the investment, your relationship is worth the investment. Emotional, mental, and other such investments that one might make in a relationship. Um, but they feel really happy that the fog has lifted, and now they want to ensure that you guys can build something lasting. Um, For some of you, please only take this if it resonates, but they feel like they could learn to love you. It feels like, this has nothing to do with you, but it feels like within themselves, they feel that they are emotionally evolving and growing, maturing. And maybe because of that, they feel like, okay, like maybe I can, learn to love this person. And yeah, so they feel emotionally patient but ready, and they feel you need to work through your own stuff as well, or continue to do so. So we have, there are so many things left unsaid. We also have, I miss you. We have, celebrate life. I'm not sure. You are thicker than a snicker, and I love it. I've been through some stuff. And we also have, take the lead. So with there are so many things left unsaid, they feel that there's a lot for you guys to talk about. Maybe a lot that maybe they weren't willing to talk about before, or they didn't realize it was important to have these conversations. So they do feel like there is stuff that you guys need to talk about. With you are thicker than a snicker, and I love it. If any of you are on the curvier side, they definitely find you extremely attractive. Like they love that about you. But regardless, they're very, very much physically attracted to you. For some of you, they could feel like they actually need to show you more, tell you more, exhibit it a bit more, And with I'm not sure, it feels like they are no longer unsure, so they feel like they've received clarity, or they're starting to receive clarity, and it's just becoming clearer and clearer to them. So with celebrate life, like they do feel that they need to do a lot more to bring about positive energy, experiences, feelings, emotions, into your relationship. And with I've been through some stuff, like they feel like you've both been through some stuff, but they feel like they're healing, on the path to healing, and they could feel there's still a lot more that you might need to acknowledge and that you might need to heal within yourself. And they miss you, and finally with take the lead, they feel that they need to do more to take the lead, or they're feeling a bit more ready to take the lead when it comes to you and your relationship. They may not feel all the way there, but they do feel ready to make that effort, and for things to maybe be a bit more balanced between you guys in terms of like the labor within your relationship. But yeah, that's all I have for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it can be helpful. I hope it can make sense. I'm wishing you the best. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Okay, please take care of yourselves. Bye. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen a second group, then this reading could be for you. I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you so much for joining me. So the person on your mind, how do they feel about you at the moment? Okay. So to start, we have the Five of Wands in the upright position, Two of Wands upright, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So it feels like this person is actually very intrigued by you. Um, they are intrigued by your passion, your fire, just the way you carry yourself, like your energy, even if you don't really feel like you know, come across as super passionate, um, and fiery. Like that's how they, you know, like that's what the vibe they get from you. Um, they want to compete for your attention, like they want to win your attention. And they actually feel you're super cool as well. They feel some sexual tension on their part. They feel you're super sexy. They feel energized by your presence. You know, initially when I saw that Five of Wands, I thought like this reading was gonna be like a bit of a mess. um, but yeah, that's the energy that's coming through. Like they feel you are or could be mentally, emotionally, and physically very stimulating for them, you know? And maybe even for other people, like they could just feel that you're that kind of person that is very stimulating, for other people, and you know, for other people to be around and talk to. And they feel challenged by you, or they feel like they would be challenged by you, or maybe they already feel like that, you know, regardless of where your relationship is at the moment, whether you guys are, you know, acquaintances or, you know, developed relationship. But yeah, they feel challenged by you, and it feels like that's like a part of the reason why they like you and why they're so drawn to you. It feels like they feel you're unusual to them, you know, um, very unique, very different to what they're used to. And they feel you could really push them, or they feel like you already do push them. And a part of them could also want to prove themselves to you, or like they feel they have to prove themselves to you. They do feel you're hard to win over, they do feel you're hard to read, like you're very mysterious to this person. They could feel uh, like a bit of defensiveness from you as well, but they also feel a little bit defensive around you. So whether that's them projecting, or they kind of just feel you are a bit defensive when it comes to them. Um, but yeah, like they admire your strength. They feel you don't back down easily. Feel you're super strong. Feel that you guys could have something special. They really enjoy the tension you make them feel, and they also feel you've brought out their competitive side, and they are hoping things become more grounded between the two of you. um, but they feel like they need they need clarity. They need to clarify how you feel and where your head is at. And it feels like they're really curious about where things might go. They're weighing their options at the moment as well. But they feel very hopeful, you know. But they definitely feel you might be a little bit more cautious. And because of this, they are unsure whether they should picture you, you know, as a part of their future. But they do seem to be focused on the present anyway. Like it feels like they're trying not to, you know, think too far ahead into the future. Um, but they do want to explore the possibilities, but they're still deciding how deeply to invest, or if you even want them to invest in you, you know. Um, like they can feel the ball is in your court almost, in terms of like how things move forward between you guys. Uh, but right now it feels like they're kind of psyching themselves up to take some sort of risk regarding you. You know, they feel inspired by you, by the way you live, by who you are, inspired by your ambition, your vision, your character. Like, they just love your energy, you know, and maybe love how you carry yourself, how you live. And it feels like you've been encouraging them to think bigger. They feel you expand their world, force them to see things a little differently, and to like open up their mind, open up their perspective. You know, whether you're close to them or not yet, they feel you've really impacted them, you know. They could feel like they need to come across a little less intimidating, uh, but they do want more of your validation. But they're also afraid of losing themselves in the connection you guys have, or losing themselves in a potential relationship with you. They could also feel a little emotionally immature in comparison to you. They're worried actually that they might be a bit codependent, clingy for, you know, for the type of person that they perceive you to be. And for some of you, they feel like they won't live up to your standards. They could feel a bit out of your league, and they're unsure of how they will even contribute to your life. So yeah, like right now they are feeling a bit exposed around you, a little more vulnerable than they usually feel. And they could also feel, for some of you, take this if it makes sense, that they aren't really being seen by you right now anyway, you know? But yeah. So moving on, we have I deserve better. We have so you think I'm stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have listen to advice. Your imperfections are perfection. We have trauma, unpredictable. We have gifts. And we also have you are better than I was ready for. So with gifts, they could actually feel like they need to, or it would just be nice if they got you a little gift. With I deserve better, it feels like meeting you or being in a relationship with you, being around you, you know, whatever kind of relationship you may have with this person, it feels like you've really opened their mind, like you've made them realize that they deserve better than what they've been currently or in the past, you know, been receiving. It feels like you've kind of opened up their mind to make them realize that. So with trauma, they do feel you have some trauma there, but they feel like they could, like, I don't know if help is the right word. But maybe they feel like they can like empathize with you, you know, on some level. But yeah, they also feel with listen to advice, they feel like they need to get your advice. Or they feel if ever they need it, that you would be able to give them good advice. They could feel like you are someone that kind of just is able to give people, you know, sound guidance. So they love your imperfections. They feel your imperfections are some of the things that, make you beautiful and attractive in their eyes. They with unpredictable, they do feel you can be unpredictable at times, whether they know this for certain or not, or just as kind of like assuming. In the past, it doesn't really feel like they feel this way anymore. Um, but they did have like a period of feeling you were, better than they were ready for. Maybe they do feel a bit more ready now, even though they still have like doubts and whether they're out of your league or not. But they feel like they're in a better mind frame. Or they feel more prepared for a person like you. And finally, so you think I'm stupid, they feel like they shouldn't take you for a fool, it just wouldn't be good for them, it wouldn't be a good look. So yeah, they feel like they should treat you as someone who is intelligent and not treat you as a fool. But that is all I have for those of you who chose the second group. I really do hope it could be helpful. I'm wishing you the best. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you again soon. But until then, please take care of yourselves, alright? Bye. Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. If you've chosen the third group, then this reading could be for you. I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you for joining me. So the person on your mind, how do they feel about you at the moment? Okay. Alright, so to start off, we have the King of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles, all in the upright position. Alright, so the person you're asking about, they feel that you are very down to earth, very hardworking, that you're responsible and you take care of your own well-being, and that you're just doing great on your own, or great, with your current situation, and they could feel like you really don't need them. They could feel like they should just leave you be. For some of you, they could feel that you aren't really checking for them anyway. But you just seem to be super content to this person, and it feels like they hate that they potentially have nothing to offer you. And for some of you, they could hate that you are in a better position than they are, or whether that's true or not, it could just be their perception. So yeah, they could feel a lot of jealousy towards you, actually, unfortunately. They feel you're someone worth investing into, but maybe not them personally, but it's like, just because they don't feel like, they would compliment you, they still feel that, you are worth the investment for someone else. For some of you, like, they do feel like they believe that they are inferior to you, or that if they were to have a more intimate relationship, that they would soon feel inferior to you, and that could be a feeling that they are trying to avoid. But at a distance, like, they actually feel proud of you. They could even, support you or want to support you in their own way, whether that's just like mentally, or whether it's, through physical action or through affirmations. Like, they want to give you support in their own way. But on the other hand, like, they feel you don't really need it anyway, and So yeah, their feelings for you are quite complicated because they don't feel like there's anything wrong with you. They don't have a problem with you or anything at all. Like they feel like you're a cool person. Um, but again, they feel you would be a catch, but just for someone else. But they also feel like they would drag you down almost. They could feel like they are leaving you alone for your benefit. Like they might mess up your security and your stability. They feel you deserve someone serious. Not that they perceive themselves as not serious, just, someone that would be able to match you and, where you're at in life. So yeah, like they feel you're super strong and independent. They feel that you are a provider and that you are a source of strength for the people around you. Um, they also feel that you are someone that moves maybe far too slowly for a person like them. For some of you, they could wish things had picked up, faster between you both. But at the moment, they could feel you are deeply committed to someone else, even if that's not true. But they do feel you're very loyal, maybe, and feel like your loyalty is being taken up by someone else at the moment. So yeah, they kind of feel like they should just, back up, maybe call it a day, when it comes to, a potential relationship between you and them. But yeah, they feel you also have this innocence to you as well. And they just feel like they don't really know where they would even fit into your life. So it feels like they have all these concerns and they feel there is a disconnect between you two, whether that's an emotional disconnect, whether it's, you know, about character, or whether it's about lifestyle and values. Just on some level or on multiple levels, they feel like there is this disconnect between you guys. This could also have to do with interests, maybe on your part. Um, but yeah, for some of you, like they also feel like you don't even really see them, or see them in that way. They could feel like they are not on your radar, like that. But it also doesn't feel like they would change their tune, even if they were on your radar. It feels like they've almost made up their mind about you and, their perceived incompatibilities between you guys. And at the moment, it also feels like they're unsure of how to cope with their feelings for you. They could also feel like you do care about them just on a superficial level. They even feel supported by you. But for some of you, they could feel you wouldn't care about them, you wouldn't support them if you knew who they really were. But overall, they kind of feel unworthy, they feel, or they know they are from, what they know of themselves, right? And so yeah, they could feel like it's at a point where they've lost you, that they should just throw in the towel, like what's the point? They've missed their chance. They could feel regret and guilt for who they are. And this could be for some of the things they did, for some of the things they didn't do. And this may not even be related to you, but they feel guilt for the kind of person they are. Maybe they feel like in terms of, their character, that it doesn't really match up to you, because they do perceive you as, you know, all these positive things. So yeah, but it's a bit complicated because there is another part of them that hopes to see you again, or, you know, they hope to be like in your space, like talk to you. For some of you, they could even hope that you reach out to them. They could feel like you would be able to support them in some way, and it feels like they really do value your input and your ideas, you know. So moving on, we have instant connection. Keep it real with me, be blunt, clear and honest communication is important to me. Okay, so how many cards do we have? So we have drunk with love, we have bitter, we have practice makes perfect, I want to feel your skin against my own, and we also have my family doesn't approve. So with instant connection, it feels like they wish that you guys had an instant connection, or there was an instant connection on your part, maybe. With bitter, it feels like they're trying not to feel bitter where you're concerned. Sorry, going back to instant attraction, they also feel instant connection. They also feel very attracted to you still. And with I want to feel your skin against my own, it feels like the thought of you being physically close and intimate with someone else, it does upset them, you know. With drunk with love, in the past, they could have felt quite intoxicated by you, by potential, but they feel like, you know, like kind of sobering up. That's how they feel right now where you're concerned. They feel like they are sobering up a bit, like they are being a bit more realistic where you're concerned. So with practice makes perfect, I'm getting the message that they feel hopeful. Earlier I said like they kind of like they're kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like getting, I don't know if it's getting over you. I don't know if that's the right word. Um, Let me. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was that they feel that you're not necessarily for them, but they also feel like hopeful, even if they don't have the relationship with you that they wanted to. They still feel hopeful for something, you know, even if they feel like there's no potential in a certain relationship between you guys. That doesn't mean they feel that there isn't a potential for another kind of relationship, you know. But yeah. For some of you, they could also feel that their family wouldn't approve of you. They could also feel it's like vice versa, that your family wouldn't approve of them either. So some of their family or friends could have been the ones encouraging them to try and move on from you. And it's not even that their family or friends had a problem with you, but from what the person you're asking about was maybe saying to them, their family and friends could have had the same sentiment as they did, or that their perspective on you and how you might feel about them was influenced by their family and friends. but it feels like from their family's perspective or their friend's perspective that you were out of their league, and it's something that they maybe said to the person you're asking about, which eventually maybe made the person you're asking about feel that way as well, if that makes sense. But yeah, so it's not necessarily that they don't approve of you, but it's just maybe they feel that there would be incompatibilities between you and the person you're asking about, okay? But moving forward, they do feel like clear and honest and blunt communication is important for the two of you, or just important for them, moving forward with you in your relationship, whatever that is or might be in the future, you know. But that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I really do hope it could be helpful, and I'm wishing you the best. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I will see you again soon, but until then, please take care of yourselves, all right? Bye.